Hello, genealogists. It's Craig again with Just Genealogy. Today, I want to talk to you about morning reports. I've talked to a couple of people in the last month or so about the need to get to morning reports, and unfortunately, they were only available in St. Louis. These relate to World War One and World War Two, beginning in 1912, so they'd also cover the Mexican Border War. So 1912 to 1946. They are company level reports that would be filled out each day. And there are several ways that they can be used. And let me go through some of those ways with you today. Currently, the morning reports are up there through 1939. These represent 37% of the morning reports that are available. These are all on Fold3. They've just been put up in the last couple of days. They're actually three parts, although it looks like there's four. There's an index and there are microfilm targets. It looks like they misspelled target the first time around instead of targets, so that those two would be combined together. I'll tell somebody about that real soon if it doesn't clear up in the next few days. And then there are the morning reports themselves. So my suggestion is that to begin with, until it's complete, that you just plug the person's name into people, records, places, and dates and see how that works out for you. Now, another way to deal with this is to know the unit. And by now, if you're looking for the morning reports, you should know what the unit is. So you would go to the morning reports 1912 to 1939 and look for the unit. There are microfilm targets out there. I'm not sure what that means, so it's kind of scary. I'm going to be looking in both places for a while until it levels out and I have a better understanding about what the difference is between a microfilm target and the morning reports. I would have thought that they would have all been integrated together, but not to worry. As you can see, these are broken out by at the company level. So the first one is regiment headquarters and band service company, 1st Infantry. Then there's the service company, 1st Infantry through Company A, 1st Infantry. And then there's Company A through Company B of 1st Infantry. So you would wander all the way down. In looking at these, I see units from this time period that are in the hundreds. That means the Guard is there also. And I've seen some in the 300s, so that means that the National Army is there also. Although I will admit that I have looked for some individual units and haven't found them, so I really don't know what's going on, but I'm sure that it will all level out in time. It's just beginning to show up. So the targets, I would look in the morning reports also, but if you're putting the name into the top, then it will hit all of these areas at the same time. There's only two things in this microfilm target thing. So again, unless you're interested in the 323rd Infantry or the headquarters company, the 6th Infantry Brigade, then probably you're not going to have to worry about it. Again, the overreaching search box is going to take care of it anyway. So once you do get to a morning report, what do you see? Well, there is sort of like a target or a header, an initial piece. This is a company in the 107th Infantry in May 1918. And these morning reports have basically three parts. On the left-hand side, there's a summary of folk. The most left-hand column is the day of the month. And then we'll talk about various kinds of officers and various kinds of enlisted men, and then individuals that are attached, how many horses they have, how many mules they have. What's missing, what bothered me, and also a discussion about who is available for duty, who is sick, and who's absent at the numerical level, not at the name level. So on the right-hand side, there is a remarks section. So let me blow up that officer side, that officer enlisted for duty, absent, attached horses and mules, just so you can have a closer look at it. So you can see there's not much there that would be helpful to you unless you were running some sort of statistical analysis on the unit. And not many of us are going to do that kind of thing. But the next page over, it talks about individuals. So the number is the day of the month. So the first entry there is from AWOL to duty, private first class, Friedenlanger, Franz O, 1209695. So he's returned to duty from being AWOL. And then on the second day, somebody was returned from AWOL to arrest, Private Edwards, Harold A, and then their serial number. So many times you'll only see a last name, but most times you might see a serial number. It's catch as catch can. These are by day. So basically we see the movement of people, and on the opposite side, there are rations. So +6 rations means 6 people join the unit on the first day of the month. Second day, 10 people join the unit. 5 and then 4. And then on the third day, 12 were gone. So minus 12 units. And then for animals. There are not very many animals with an infantry unit. Or they're all zeros because there wasn't any change. So we go further, and here are additional remarks by day. And then what I consider to be the most important for me is the station and records of events. So here's another shot at more names, more service numbers. Always love to have a name and a service number associated with it because you can do a lot of things with that you can't do anywhere else. What I sort of am missing here, though, is losses, either by those that are going to the hospital or those who have died, those kind of things. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm sure that it should exist. And one of the reasons I probably haven't seen it yet is because these guys haven't even gone overseas yet. They're still in Camp Stewart in Newport News, doing usual camp duties, blah, 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 until the 9th of the month, where they are now en route for foreign service on board transport. It would have been nice if they would have told us which transport, but I've showed you how to figure that out before in the Center for Military History, publication 23, number 2. So see, we also, on the 8th of the month, before they got to that transport, they had a parade and review by General Hutchinson. And then here we see farther on, they're at sea for a while. Then on the 26th, they disembark and march to resting camp. And they're still in camp on the 27th. And then on the 28th, they broke camp and marched to their RR depot, that's the railroad depot, and entrained for billeting point. So you can track day by day a unit at the company level through what they're doing in the war. Here's another set of people involved with the days, the first 6 days of the month. And then here are more record of events. These, I think, are later. I think I pulled these out later in the war. These are after the armistice. Or maybe these are in November itself. And then more station record of events. And this is them getting ready to leave Europe. Eventually, we'll see as we get closer into World War II that these cards are going to be typed. These morning reports are going to be typed. You may find that there's additional paper attached to the morning reports because there isn't sufficient space in the morning report. And we like that because they're typed. And because they're typed, we have a better opportunity to understand what is actually on the page. So morning reports are, in my mind, a great thing. Until day before yesterday, you had to go to St. Louis to look at them, and they were pretty much difficult to get to. Now they're easy to get to. Recognize that only 37% of them are up. We're eventually going to get through World War II, and that will be fun also. Again, you have to know what unit the individual was in to confirm that you've got the right person in the morning report when you actually do find them. We're looking for names. We're looking for service numbers. We're looking for what happened to the soldiers during the war, where they were, and what they might have been doing. So this has been Craig with Just Genealogy, talking about morning reports. We're converting people doing genealogy into genealogists day by day. If you hadn't subscribed, please do. Tell your friends to subscribe. Click on that notification bell. I hope you like what we're doing, and I will see you tomorrow.